The former president was supposed to have a restful day out on the course, but it was very different after that suspect was spotted through a fence. Now, that suspect this morning has been identified as 58-year-old Ryan Routh. He lives in Hawaii. Officials say he was just outside of the fence at Trump's West Palm Beach golf course in the bushes while the former president was playing around yesterday. They say they found backpacks hanging on that fence along with an AK-47 style rifle and a GoPro camera. That was all set up about 400 to 500 yards away from the former president. Investigators do not believe that Routh was able to fire any shots, but Secret Service agents did open fire when they spotted the suspect while going ahead of Trump.
They have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual.
Authorities say Routh got away from the scene at first, but a witness was able to take a picture of his vehicle and give it to authorities. He was later caught on I-95 in Martin County. He was arrested and booked into the Palm Beach County Jail. We are told the feds are likely to take this case over, but right now there's no word on what charges he might face. Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
And former President Trump reacted to the apparent assassination attempt last night on social media. In his post on Truth Social, Trump thanked everyone for their concern and support, as well as the Secret Service and other officials for keeping him safe. The former president wrote, "The job done was absolutely outstanding. I am very proud to be an American."
Vice President Harris also reacted, first posting on X saying, quote, "I have been briefed on reports of gunshots fired near former President Trump and his property in Florida, and I'm glad he is safe. Violence has no place in America." Posting on X saying, quote, "I have been briefed on reports of gunshots fired near former President Trump and his property in Florida, and I'm glad he is safe. Violence has no place in America." Former President Trump and his property in Florida, and I'm glad he is safe. Violence has no place in America. She later released an official statement saying she is deeply disturbed by the possible assassination attempt of former President Trump. "As we gather the facts, I will be clear. I condemn political violence. We all must do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to more violence."
So they said violence has no place in America. Is that a true statement? Is it true that violence has no place in America? You know what I mean? Like, I could go over the whole history of America with the 100 million dead slaves, the 70 to 80 million dead Indians, et cetera, go through all the wars. Right, but let's just go to Gaza, right? So Kamala Harris, whose husband is a Zionist, right? Her and her husband, she's married to a man who's a Zionist, works for AIPAC, right? Who supports shipping nonstop weapons to drop bunker buster bombs on people in tents, right? Has killed tens of thousands of children, unarmed children, right? And civilians, claiming that they're looking for a terrorist with a bunker buster bomb, right? All American weaponry, right? They say we're against violence of any kind. We don't support political violence. We don't support violence, right? America, we are against, my name is Kamala Harris, I'm against violence. My name is this person, et cetera, I'm against violence. Really? So my question would be, is giving all of these, billions of dollars in weapons to Ukraine and Israel to kill civilians to the tune of 186,000 people, right? Mostly women and children. Would that be considered supporting violence? I'm just curious. Would that be considered supporting violence? Or is that supporting peace, fun, prosperity, happiness, right? Killing 186,000 people, assisting in murdering almost 250,000 people. Is that considered supporting fun and prosperity and good times? Or would that be, would that be considered like supporting violence? I'm just curious. Just something to think about, right? when these people say, I don't support violence. You see, America is built on violence. These people are liars and hypocrites. They are evil Satanists. That's why they call it the Synagogue of Satan. Her husband, Kamala Harris' husband, is in the Synagogue of Satan, Revelations 2 and 9, right? These are the end times, and not for everybody, you see. These are the end of their times, the end of the times that they've created, you see. So you have to understand what those statements make. So when they say things like, we don't support violence, you have to understand they're being ridiculous. Right? It's like Satan, the Antichrist, is the opposite of Christ. So when they say we want peace, they really saying we want war. When they saying we don't support violence, they're really saying we love violence. You have to understand the language of the devil and of Satan and of these people that you're dealing with, you see. But this is connected to why everything is great. Everything that's happening and going to happen soon is going to happen. You see, there's a disconnect in reality, and reality must be, the scales must be brought into balance, where you can't be allowed to kill hundreds of thousands of people and assist in killing hundreds of thousands and then say, I don't support violence. We can't live in a world like that anymore. That world has to be the world that allows that kind of thing to be done by not just the leadership. You say, well, whose fault is this? Go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror. It's not her fault. It's your fault for allowing somebody to play in your fucking face like this. You see, for year after year, after decade, you see. So that's why America gonna suffer as a whole. You see, like the Bible said, you shall be judged as a nation. You're gonna be judged as a race and as a nations of people. You're gonna be judged in whole groups. You're not gonna just be Kamala Harris getting judged or Joe Biden or Donald Trump. You're all gonna be judged. You see, everyone has to be judged all together. The Bible says, ye shall be judged by nations. By the millions you shall be judged, you see? So when you say, whose fault is this that they killed 200,000 people, you see, innocent people, unarmed, they murdered 200,000 people. Well, look at the Americans who pay their taxes to this system, who have Israeli flags on their walls, you see? They participate in the genocides of hundreds of thousands of people, you see? You have to understand the connections, all the different ways this thing connects, so that when you get your judgment, you can't really cry about, woe is me, I'm being mistreated. You see, because the Bible said, thus with violence shall Babylon be thrown down. You see, you have to understand, when you kill hundreds of thousands of innocent people, there's something called karma, and they say, in America, they say that's not true. There's no such thing as karma. There's no such thing as, in the Bible, when the Bible says that, you know, a recompense in the book of Joel. They say there's no such thing as recompense. There's no such thing as karma, right? This is satanic talk by people who have put their fingers on a scale of justice and made reality and justice unbalanced. But that's coming to an end soon, you see. That's coming to a very quick end. This is it. You see, that's why I like people, they want to have long conversations about politics and elections. Listen, let me tell you something. You better brace yourself. That shit is trivial at this point. All of that shit is folly and a waste of time. You better spend your last, there's still time, right, for you to prepare. You better spend those last months, days, and weeks preparing and not wasting your time arguing with people about something that's not gonna matter a year from now. All that will matter is can you survive the paradigm shift of reality asserting itself onto people like Kamala Harris and Trump and the population of the United States. You see that? Listen to people say, yeah, we don't support violence, while killing hundreds of thousands of people all over the world, from Ukraine to Palestine, to Libya, to Syria, to Lebanon, etc. Fill in the blanks. That's all I got.